Hello everybody, join me today in this video where I'm repotting my green carpet juniper. Took off a few too many roots. Enjoy. So for anyone with a good eye, you might have seen this is actually the green carpet that's in the intro to every video. Looked a lot greener there obviously because that was last spring I believe. So it's just starting to push a bit of new growth. You just about to see it on the tips there. This tree's got a bit of a funny story really. Bought it from a garden centre for, actually garden centre, but B&Q. Bought it from B&Q for £7. They had about 30 or 40 of them at the time. I really wanted a juniper, but I mean the issue was most of the juniper species that you'd use in bonsai, like a Blores or Kishu or Itagawa, they can be quite expensive to buy even at this size. I'm actually kind of looking for anyone that's got seedlings or cuttings right now, and then going to start growing one from that. But yeah, so just a bit of cheap stock really. I just thought, I think I bought this last winter. I just thought I'd have a bit of fun over the winter time because there's not much else to do. So it's usually when I buy the cheapest kind of trees that I can, they're usually reduced or on discount. I'll try some absolutely wild deadwood on this one. So you can see there's two deadwood branches on this one, and they're both wrapping around in all different sorts of shape. I took the wire off too early on them, which is a shame. So they haven't actually set exactly where I wanted them. But live and learn, right? And then the branches on this one, obviously being a green carpet, so they're usually just like they grow along the ground basically. They're like a low covering kind of tree. Even the apex of this tree was actually facing downwards, so I've had to bend that up into shape. And I'm now waiting for finer branching to occur on some of these branches that I've already got here, especially the primary branches. I'll cut back to them eventually over time, but with junipers they do say that you can't take off too much at once. If it's about 30% they say is pretty safe. Which then leads me onto the root system of this tree, so I wasn't happy with the root system on this at all as I dug into it. There's a lot of fine rooting. Junipers are usually quite fine rooted, but I'm not sure if you can see it there. It's like a two root system, so there's like two main roots that all these roots are growing off of. That usually causes bulges and inverse taper. So here I'm trying to remove all the thicker roots, ones that are going to stop me getting into this pot. All the roots were wrapping around each other, and to be fair I think actually this one was grown in two different kind of soils, so I think it was either in like a grow bag or something for the first part of its life, and then put into a bigger pot without doing any kind of root work, which I wouldn't expect a B&Q grower to do. Yeah, just put into a bigger pot, and then the roots have just tangled around each other so much in this tree. So I'll slow the video down here just so we can get into some of the finer details. You can see some of these thicker roots that are poking around now. And I'm trying to find the base of the trunk really, so I'd imagine this was grown as a cutting as well. I'm just trying to find out where that kind of root base is. Cutting away some of the higher roots. And this is sometimes a problem with nursery stock because I'll style them before I actually check the roots most of the time. I really need to stop doing that, it's a bad habit. Yeah, you should always build your tree off the root system that it's got, so with this root system I probably could have styled it 3 different ways to what I actually did. So As you can tell by the pot down the bottom, I'm taking off a considerable amount of the roots. Usually for coniferous trees, it isn't great. I mean, junipers, they don't really rely on the root system that much. They don't get their strength from that. They get their strength from the foliage. So I would hope this makes it in the end. But we will see. The thing is, if you don't do this kind of root work early, you're just going to come into more problems later on. Coniferous species like junipers and some pines, you don't really repot that often. It's like every 3 or 4 years you'll do a repot on them. So the next time I'm going to see them roots is 4 years time. So if I can try and set up as good as I can, it'll be better for the future. So we're just setting up a little training pot, more coarse pumice for the bottom, so it's an extra drainage layer, and then it's just a standing mix again. I think it's 4 parts this one actually. I think I've got akadama, lava, pumice, and some pine bark in this one. Because it's a smaller pot, just wanted the pine bark to try and keep a bit more moisture. Also some mycorrhiza fungi in there, so the pine bark actually helps with that. Any kind of organic material. Just trying to sit that down a little bit better in there. There wasn't much of a root ball to wire to, so I didn't bother with a wire on this one. Just amount the soil up a little bit here, so I've got something to play with when I start chopsticking. It's actually one of my favourite trees styling wise, and what I mean by that is it isn't the greatest, you know, the tree you've ever seen, don't get me wrong, but what I managed to create with the branches that I had, I was quite proud of myself with, because it was a problem tree, and it still is to this day, and problem trees can be very hard to shape and style and work around and figure out a plan for. At some point I do want to add some shari to this, so there we go. Just going to add some water now. So shari, for anyone who doesn't know, is just basically deadwood on the trunk. So I think where I've got that deadwood branch on the left there cutting upwards, I'm going to bring the shari down from that. So it'll look like the whole lifeline to that branch kind of died off. It might give it some interest over time. Apart from that, it just needs to thicken up quite a bit. A bit of water there, make sure it's draining through the bottom, which is lovely. I'm just going to add on some moss. Little weed growing in one there. I'll try and use some different mosses, different colours from different places. Gives it a bit more interest. Makes it seem a bit more natural, like it's grown in a field somewhere. Between some marshes or something. This one I actually de-wired a little while ago, just before winter I believe. Some of the wire was cutting into the branches, so it does need rewiring again, but I won't be doing that until summertime now, because spring the tree grows so quickly it's just going to thicken up and I'll get more wire by it. So I'll leave you with me just finishing off the moss here, just trimming away some of the and that's it for this one. I'll see you again soon.